All right, good morning, guys. This is September 28th. Doing our weekly sync. A lot in the works. I've been working on the quarterly report. I just submitted the draft on Discord for you guys to review it. My plan is to release it tomorrow. So if you guys have some time, feel free to add your comments in there. I'm still going to add in a few just like general things that kind of go over some of the AI initiatives and like some of the um, prep work for like our what we're calling Q4 as like the utilization or like seasonal engagement stuff. But um, yeah, I like to get your guys' opinion. Just some comments would be nice. So. But other than that, I think HIP 30 is one of the main things that we're going to be discussing. So it's been working hard with the team, and yeah, I'd like to get some updates on it. You want to go first, Soph?
Yeah, sure. Okay. I've been working with Diego at HIP 30. Um, so I was touching on Tuesday, I wanted to test the emissions, right? And true enough, the emission wasn't working as expected. Okay. So what happened is that in the rewards calculations function, we do like an aggregate of um, calculation every 64 blocks because those calculations are quite resource intensive, and um, we decided at one point to calculate those staking reward only every 64 blocks. Okay. So in that function, Max forgotten to aggregate the uh, the emission reward as well. Okay, so this is what I've added today. And now the expected reward for the emission recovery releasing address is correctly computed. Okay, so that's the one of the thing. The second item was being worked by Diego. It's on the metric side of things for the pre-image. Um, Diego, you want to talk about it, maybe? Yeah.
But before you go into the second part,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you read my comment on this, but I think this should go
Yeah,
into.
I did. Yeah, I did. So I wasn't sure if that branch was for the cumulations of all the HIP 30 stuff, but
Mm,
using for shard reduction. But it kind of was linked to the shard reduction. I don't know, right? But that's why I've initially put into here into that one, and I also kind of work out the base from that branch as well. So maybe it would be cleaner if we put it here for now, and then. Uh,
So the only issue I have is that if there's any setbacks in the shard reduction, we're going to go forward with just the emission. And so if that PR that it's out right now, which is this one, does not have this fix, which is this fix is the admission, and it's also the node reduction. So if this goes out without the emission, is that bug still going to be present? And I think it's yes. And so
yes.
I think we should put it in dev.
So wouldn't that 4502 or 03, I don't recall the number, go into dev later on?
Which one?
That 4502 or 03 is going to dev after that, right?
Right, but if there's any bugs or if there's something through testing that's gonna take that we didn't expect, or if there's any like delay, I'm
Uh-huh.
just afraid that if this doesn't go into dev,
No, to me, okay. To me, Diego's item and the testing I was doing was all part of the HIP 30. I don't foresee any other stuff to do.
okay,
And
yeah,
I kind of mentioned that in my document already, right? That was the testing that I just completed today in that fix, right? Along with the a metric on the pre-image. So to me, with all that, that big PR with the final review can be merged to dev, right? And then with that latest dev, you can use it to deploy to DevNet and testnet eventually. Okay, so yeah.
All right. I agree. Okay. Sorry to sidetrack you.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. Diego, you want to talk about your item?
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, yesterday, sorry, towards the end of the last week, I managed to get the generation, the Prima generation, like working. So yeah, that's good. But then yeah, I was talking with Seth, like we would like to track that, like sort of the generation is like up to date, no, with all the validators and basically pretty much all the nodes like we have out there. So yeah, that would be good. So the once the like the HIP epoch like comes to effect, like yeah, everything will work. No, so yeah, I was kind of working on that. So yeah, I have a few things. So I added basically four metrics. Like one is like if you run the generation from scratch, like we'll know what's the latest and like the first and the latest block you ran the generation from. That's one thing. The second thing is like if you do an import, we will see what was the last block up until which block did you run the import, and from there we'll also get, because you will also generate the blocks that like from that last block imported up until like whatever you have on the chain will run the import. So we'll have those metrics as well. And also we added like a new metric that's called like verified like accounts or something like that. So it's like what it does is goes through, so it takes the latest state of the state DB and just goes through all the accounts, like available accounts there, like hashes, of course, and it tries to get the pre-match in all of them, no? And then it just pushes a metric with all the successful like addresses, and of course that has to match and that has to be equal to in across all the nodes, no? So yeah, at the moment, like, and we've run a test with Self yesterday, so we have, for example, in SHA-2 we have 600 plus accounts there, like with Prima generated. So we we did a transaction from SHA-0 to SHA-2 just to see if the new address would show up on the export, and yeah, that did work. So the number of verified accounts increased by 1, of course, and then when I ran the export, yeah, we could see Self's address there. So yeah, all good then. So yeah, with that, now we have enough visibility in terms of how well validators are doing in terms of Prima generation. Yeah.
Casey, you want to open maybe the Notion document that I wrote on Tuesday? Not the communication, right, but the actual HIP30 planning.
Yeah. The only thing, if we're recording, I'm not going to show my Telegram, so I'm going to stop sharing if you want to share it. Or I can just bring it up actually here.
Yeah.
Oops.
It was on Discord. I put the link on Discord actually.
Yeah, one second. Oops, it's not logged. Let me. All right. Yeah, I got it up already. I'm just making sure I don't expose.
Yeah. No, this one is the announcement. I just put into the you go into communication, right? You click on the link on the Zoom on the Meet. That's the actual planning. Okay, see. Can you click on the link that I sent in the message in the Meet?
Yeah, isn't it the same one?
It's not the same one because one is the planning, right? And the other one is the communication. Okay. So in the planning, right? If you just keep on the top on the planning side, yeah. So that's the item I'm planning in terms of execution for the HIP 30, right? With the mainfed hard fork to happen on October 26th. So I don't expect any delay right now, except for maybe I talk about it later. That's the an issue on DevNet right now. Okay, but let me go through that later. Okay, but right now, that's the dates. Not sure if you have gone through that, Casey, right? And share that with Steven as well. But that's my intention right now. So the LocalNet testing feature has been completed already, right? So we are Thursday. So tomorrow, Friday, I'll be looking at one of the blocker we have right now on DevNet. Okay. So the idea is that for the DevNet HIP 30, I like it to be executed on October 2nd or 3rd, so next week, Monday or Tuesday. Okay. And this way, I think right now we have one problem in DevNet. That's the crosslink. Okay. So crosslink are the crosslink are the SHA-1 for DevNet signatures informations being broadcasted to SHA-0. Okay, and SHA-0 use that signature information for a given block to update the staking protocol. Okay, right now it looks like the crosslink are being stuck at a given block on DevNet. Okay, so it's a critical feature because without that crosslink, validators in SHA-1 doesn't earn anything. Okay, so whatever they're signing right now that do not be updated on the protocol, staking protocol, and they won't earn anything. Okay, so we won't be able to move ahead to testnet or even mainnet if that DevNet issue is still there and potentially blocking HIP 30, if you ask me. Okay, so we can see that in Watchdog, right, or even PagerDuty right now. There is that alert for crosslink on SHA-1 that is currently being stuck. Okay, so that is an important problem, something that we have to look at because there will be a blocker for HIP 30 if you ask me. Okay, and since this DevNet, right, you're not running even the HIP 30 code right now. You're just running the latest dev. So even that one, right, if you want to split HIP 30 into 2 execution, we won't be able to as well because right now the latest dev have that problem. So I'm asking Diego to look at it. Not sure if there's any further updates, but doing that today, if Konstantin or even Adam look at that problem and figure out something that would be beneficial, and maybe update myself so that I can look at that tomorrow as well. So if you can fix that problem tomorrow, then, we can start merging PRs to dev and then planning the HIP 30 hard fork for DevNet.
Perfect. Any comments from anyone else, or want to move on?
Diego, have you found anything else new from your last update, like an hour or two ago?
No, not yet. No. So I'm trying to piece things together still.
Yeah,
No, nothing.
Yeah, right. It's not easy, okay, but we have to do those bits together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So If Konstantin and Adam can actually work on this during the day, I think that would be very helpful. Whatever funding you guys can figure out, but you know, we have to fix that problem on their data. Yeah.
So only I just want to add a comment on that. So the all the nodes in the shard one, they are connected to each other. Plus, they are connected to the shard zero nodes because when they send the crosslink, they need to know to send where. And also for the epoch blocks, they sync the epoch blocks as well. All the nodes in the shard one. So the thing is, maybe because this crosslink is a new thing and we haven't touched that part in the code on at least last few weeks, and we haven't had that issue even last week or 2 weeks ago. So that's a new thing. So my understanding and I think maybe if because a couple of times we needed to restart all the nodes on the shard one, and maybe those connection with the shard zero is lost, and the shard one nodes are connected to each other only. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure about that part, but it would be good if we can one time more we restart the shard one and see maybe the nodes gets the new connection to the shard zero nodes, and maybe after that they can share the crosslinks and maybe that helps to fix this issue. But if that one doesn't help, that means there is something on the maybe on the logic, on the codes, or because of those things that we copy or clone those DB to and copy the DB from one node to another. Maybe those things that messed up the DBs is the problem. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So on what I could troubleshoot today, so how it works, right? The SHA-1 leader will actually broadcast those crosslink. Okay. SHA-0 node are supposed to process those crosslink as they arrive, and actually the SHA-0 leader, right? What I can say on the SHA-0 leader, if you look at the API for the pending crosslink, right, you would see that it would increase at one point and then disappear, go back to 0. So I haven't confirmed what are those crosslink, but I believe those are the SHA-1 that has been sent or broadcasted, right? So I think the SHA-0 leader actually receives it, right? But somehow never process it, okay? SHA-0 leader has as well an API call to check what is the latest crosslink, right? And that's the same numbers that you could have from Watchdog. Okay, so right now, I believe crossing actually being received on the SHA-0 leader, but they're not being processed or being discarded somehow. Okay. Tomorrow, I think, in the sake of to go faster, right? I might just maybe convert all the dot back to DNS sync and maybe use previous versions of the DevNet, you know. So because right now the current version of DevNet, just for information to everyone here, it's the PR. We are running the latest commit from PR for 497. Okay, so if that helps, if you were to look at the commit hash that is currently running on the DevNet, right, it will be the 4497, the last commit of 4497. Yeah, so that's the update for you.
And actually that PR has the code from the dev branch as well. So I rebased the code from that branch on that PR last week. Yeah.
So what I do tomorrow, if there is no updates on the team here, right, during our night, I would just try to use the latest dev. So I know the latest dev is already in that PR, right? But I can't say that PR is not playing or doing anything, So that's just what I want to test, and maybe just use the latest dev in that to push to the DevNet node. I'm not sure if that will impact or not your state sync test, right? But
Yeah, I'm doing a few tests on the state sync. Maybe I will try to finish my test before you start to switch to that.
I'll talk to you tomorrow if you have to do in the deployment of Coda. Okay, but
Yep.
yeah, but in the meanwhile, during that day, if anyone can look at the code logic, and based on the behavior I was just describing, what or where could be the problem now. Yeah. Yeah, Casey, so back to you on the bus for HIP 30 as an update. Yeah.
Awesome. I appreciate it. So thanks so much. And thanks for doing that, the time frames early. And I discussed it with Steven yesterday too. So we're all caught up. So I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Constantine?
Yep. All updates or about HIP 30?
Yeah, I mean, I think HIP 30, we're all on the same page, unless you have anything that you want to add or anything, but
No, I don't have anything to add about HIP 30. I finished, I didn't work on it this week.
Yep, and we had a meeting this morning, and we discussed the leader rotation and a couple other initiatives. So that's, I know that you're working on that. So, guys.
Yeah, on my side, my main focus was on the state sync, and let's call it fast sync for now. And later it will be a snap sync. So a couple of things I have done on the fast sync, couple of code refactor, and basically our current state sync is like they have the fixed and predefined stage, and based on those predefined, in the code we call it the forward stage. So those predefined forward stage are there, but when we are working on the fast sync, it needs to be on a certain stages, and after it reaches to the pivot block, it needs to change to the full sync. So that means kind of two types of sync, and it can switch from one type of sync to another one. And the codes didn't support it because, as I said, those stages are predefined. So I add all of those features, and now it is able to switch to the full sync after it reaches to the pivot block. A lot of code refactoring on the pivot block and calculating it. Now I try to dynamically calculate the pivot block, and always I try to getting the most closest pivot block to the current head of the chain. And after that, I did a couple of tests in the node 11, if you guys know 186, for the fast sync. I run the full fast sync since like 3 days ago, and the node started syncing from the scratch with the fast sync, and it took like 70 hours, around 70 hours. That's not the accurate time, but around 70 hours. And Node could download like 22 million blocks. So basically it's like 80, like 87 blocks per second. Yeah, 80 blocks per second means 80 blocks plus all the receipts and the blocks. So this would be continued to the node reach to the pivot block. After it reached to the pivot block, which there is a distance like 1000 blocks, 1024 blocks to the head. So when the node reaches there, it will switch to the full sync, and it will be like a normal full sync. So about 70 hours, 22 million blocks. That means almost 3 days.
Guys.
Yeah.
So with that, new sync method, right? So I hear you 22 million, right? But Watchdog shows one. I mean, block one.
Yeah. That's the thing is in the fast sync, we are downloading the block and downloading the receipt, add it to the DB, but we don't update the head of the chain. There is something else on the database called fast sync block. We just update the fast sync block. That means if you get the head of the chain, you don't see it is syncing, or you don't see the latest block. But if you read the fast sync block, you will see the fast sync block already is at 22 million. After it reaches to the pivot block and it switch to the full sync, then it will update the head of the chain.
Okay.
And yeah, and it works like that because before we reach to the pivot block, we don't have the states. We don't execute the block. We just download them and download the receipts. And after it reaches to the pivot block, we start to download all the states, and after that we do the full sync. So it's like that. So before it reaches to the pivot block, you won't see the head of the chain, and you can just check the fast sync block. This is the exactly same thing that the Ethereum also is doing. So I'm on those tests. I can say like 70% of the code already tests and they are working well as expected. And that 30%, I did a lot of code refactor, so I need to do all of the tests again for that. And I have a bit issues on there's a few issues on the downloading the states and downloading the leaf from the try. So I'm working on that part. I try to finish it this week or next week to join the HIP30 team, but still, I think a couple of things needs to be tested, and I need to finish that part first. So yeah, that's all from myself.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Adam?
Sorry, I was just reading a message to you. Let's see what we got here. State sync. So I've been focused on understanding the staking protocol details lately because there's some stuff being mucked with in that pull request, and then resolving a bunch of residual conflicts with the ClearStale staking data branch. So I hope to be done with that one this week. There's just a few functions that like just aren't working right. So taking a look at that. Account abstraction. So let's see. So I'm basically soaked as much as I can on this. We waited long enough where vendors are starting to roll out their bundlers. So I know the latest state of contracts that I've been working with. So I've been more concentrated on StackUps contract implementation. There's a lot of them out there. So I'm working on getting StackUps implementation out there, demoing other platforms and stuff along the way. And there's a lot of them. I'm actually demoing another one with their CEO. I think that one is Fun Wallet, I believe. I'll have to check that one. But yeah, so there's a lot of different ones and a lot of bundlers starting to roll out on the Harmony network. So the Harmony team, actually, if me or anyone here operates our own bundler, and that's basically what this has been about. So whether or not we're going to operate our own bundler, or if we're just going to let the other vendors start rolling out their entry point contracts, and those are the bundlers that are going to be used. But if we're going to have the resources to actually have our own bundler, and that means people actually watch it. So what that's going to be, so it will either be StackUp's implementation, even though StackUp, I'm working with StackUp now to get a contract out on mainnet and testnet that's basically on StackUp's entry point, and then that's going to work with the bundlers that they're operating. And then, of course, ours is going to be either, StackUp's implementation, or we may still create our own implementation of the set of contracts needed for ERC 4337, but we're still not even certain if that is actually going to happen. So I have a tool in testnet that we're playing with, and there will be others that'll be deployed. But right now I'm waiting on getting. I think right now I just need one token to get an entry point contract onto the Harmony mainnet, and then I'm gonna launch an additional testnet set of contracts with it, just so that nuclear with the StackUp project. And that's the goal, is to have multiple bundlers on the network in operation for the wallets using the applications to choose from. So that should explain what's happening, where we're going with that. And Casey, I'll get my notes settled here in a little bit. I've been needing to update my Jira cards. What else we got here? No activity on the 0xP fixing. I got some pull requests out there with some GitHub pages, and they're just not moving yet. So I'm not really worried about that. And so if you need me to look at anything, I'll take care of that. But we'll just get a Jira card filled out with the details, and I'll pair with Constantine.
Mhm. I don't have a Jira card right now, but just that HIP 30 with the, okay, it's not HIP 30 per se, right? Like I said early on, right? It's more like an issue that we have right now on DevNet in regards of those cross-link that doesn't get updated or being processed right now by the SHA-0 reader. Yeah. Question to you, Adam, in regards of account abstractions. I'm not sure if you and Casey are in the office this week, but I was talking to ProtoFire, I think 2 days ago, and they mentioned that they already deploy. Not sure this is a bundler or what. I don't have all the detail here, but they said they already deploy versions of the account abstractions on Harmony mainnet, right? And they are really looking now for projects for use cases. So I kind of link up ProtoFire with Z already. Okay, so just to let you know, I'm just not sure how redundant it is with what you are doing or in terms of open abstractions, but just wanted to let you know. So maybe just talk to Theo and see if you can also talk to ProtoFire and see how they are and what actually they did for account abstraction now.
Yeah, I've already
yeah,
reached out to Adam. With that. Yeah.
Yeah, we've
Okay.
been talking about it. Awesome. Yeah, so I'm assuming ProtoFire probably launched the entry point contracts and bundler on the Harmony network, and we're going to start seeing a lot of other vendors start doing that. So it looks like they're first, which is great, and you can get connected and get moving. But that's it's separate than what we're doing, whatever that's going to end up being. That's a lot of resources to operate, a service that we're not even sure we don't even have many use cases for it yet. We've been talking about use cases kind of in the back channels, things like, games and AI applications, that sort of thing that may be a good application for a lot of the account abstraction implementations. But yeah, right now we just don't have use cases. But yeah, I wasn't in the loop on that. I need to connect with ProtoFire and figure out, the details about what they're doing and kind of shadow them, because we're going to be doing something similar down the line. That's my understanding. That's my expectation is we're going to have a lot of people that are just going to start rolling out their own entry point contracts and running them on bundlers, because there's actually an economic incentive for vendors to have their own bundlers operating with their paymasters, because they can earn whatever ERC20 or HRC20 token that's being paid out to the paymasters via the contracts. So there's a huge economic incentive for people to start spinning up their own bundlers, and there's also a profit point for Harmony too. We just weren't going to be the first one. I kind of arrived way too late in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should kind of clear that up. But yeah, I definitely need to get connected with ProtoFire and kind of work with them to make sure everyone's kind of in sync and formulate a plan on what we're going to be operating.
Yeah, correct. Because for me, it doesn't make sense if what you are doing is the same as what ProtoFire is doing, right? Though I understand that we can have multiple bundlers with entry point contract, right? But still, we want to clarify all those details, whether we want to have multiples or, whether we want to open our own, for instance, right? I would say maybe not. But that one, I leave it to you and maybe discuss with Steven whether we want that as well under our shop. Yeah.
Yep. I agree there. Thanks, stuff. If you need more details, just was connect and kind of discuss what that plans look like. I got to talk to ProtoFire first. Like I said, I wasn't in the loop, and so if I've been duplicating work anywhere is kind of unfortunate. But not from my perspective, because it's all pretty important information to absorb, especially this early on. And the implementations that are rolling out still, even though they passed audit, I think sometime in April were the latest ones. They're still buggy and going through many updates. So I'm not feeling bad about where we are yet.
No worries. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I reached out to Theo F2 to get you some one for mainnet, so he should be reaching out to you today.
Great, thanks.
Son, did you have anything you want to go over?
Not particular. I've been just working on the AI initiative, and so not too much update on the protocol side. But thanks for asking. Yeah.
And Diego, I know you gave a little bit of an update. I appreciate you. You're a great compliment to Soph. So you're picking up a lot of stuff that you didn't initially sign up for. So if you have any update or you wanted to give any insight or anything.
Yeah, thanks. It's been super fun, so I'm enjoying it. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, and it looks like you're getting a good challenge and you're getting a good your feet wet in the protocol, so that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, but yeah, thanks.
Great. So if anyone has anything else, I think we should be good. I appreciate your time, guys, and I'll see you either tomorrow or next week.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.